Picture the scariest thing you can imagine in open water. A dark shape below you. A fin cutting the surface. Now picture the thing statistically far more likely to kill you today. A bathtub. Or a bucket. Or the rip current 30 feet from where you're standing, worrying about the shark instead. That's not a joke opener, it's the actual math. Let's be honest about the premise first, though. Sharks genuinely can kill you, and downplaying that would be irresponsible. Every year there are real attacks, real injuries, and a small number of deaths. Recent global data puts unprovoked shark bites at around 60 to 70 a year worldwide, with roughly 6 to 10 fatalities. That's not zero. But here's what nobody thinks about: scale. Hundreds of millions of people enter the ocean every year. Out of that pool of humanity splashing around in shark habitat, single digits die. The real question isn't, can a shark kill you? It's compared to what? In the US alone, drowning kills over 4,000 people a year, and that's not even ocean-specific. Pools, lakes, bathtubs, buckets. The odds of an American drowning in their lifetime sit around 1 in 1,100. The odds of dying from a shark bite sit near 1 in 4 million. You're roughly 3,000 to 4,000 times more likely to drown than to be killed by a shark. Toilets, buckets, and home pools injure or kill more people every year, combined, than sharks do worldwide. Falling coconuts have even been estimated to kill more people annually. So why does the shark live rent-free in our nightmares while the bathtub gets a complete pass? This is where it gets interesting. The answer isn't biology, it's psychology. Humans evolved a mental shortcut called the availability heuristic. We judge danger by how easily examples come to mind, not by how often it actually happens. A shark attack is vivid, cinematic, replayed in movies and news segments, helped by a very famous 1975 film that ruined beaches for a generation. A bathtub drowning is quiet, private, and never makes the evening news. Sharks check every box that makes something feel dangerous. Unseen, sudden, uncontrollable, tied to a primal fear of being eaten. A bathtub checks none of those boxes, even though it's doing the actual killing. Now flip to the shark's side. This is where the myth falls apart. Sharks are not hunting humans. We're not on the menu. We don't have the fat content that makes marine mammals worth the energy cost of an attack. The leading theory behind most bites, especially the classic hit and run from species like the blacktip, is mistaken identity. A splashing human silhouette seen from below, in murky water, can resemble the shape of a seal. That's also why most bites are a single exploratory strike followed by the shark swimming away, rather than the sustained attack horror films sell. In most recorded cases, the human survives with an injury because we were never actually the target. Where attacks cluster tells the same story. Surf breaks, river mouths, murky coastal water where visibility is low and human movement mimics prey. Surfers get bitten more than swimmers, and swimmers more than divers, because splashing on the surface is the exact signal a shark's senses are tuned to detect. Divers, who enter calmly with clear visibility, are bitten far less relative to their time in the water. The shark isn't reacting to humans, it's reacting to a pattern that resembles food, a pattern almost entirely of our own making. Compare that to how a bathtub kills. No mistaken identity, no exploratory test, no swimming away after. Drowning happens through a boring, silent failure. A slip, a loss of consciousness, a child left unattended for the length of a phone call. It needs no predator, no motive, no ecosystem, just water and inattention, which makes it both mundane and, statistically, one of the most consistent killers humans face. A shark bite requires rare conditions to align. A bathtub requires nothing at all. This mismatch has real consequences. Culls and shark net programs, driven largely by fear rather than data, have killed enormous numbers of sharks. Animals often classified as vulnerable or endangered and essential to ocean ecosystems. We spend fear, money, and conservation capital fighting an animal responsible for single-digit deaths a year, while the leading cause of water-related death barely gets a safety campaign. None of this means sharks are harmless or that you should be reckless in open water. But next time you feel that flicker of fear waiting past your ankles at the beach, remember what's statistically waiting for you at home: an unsupervised bathtub, a bucket, a pool without a fence. They don't have fins. They don't need them. They're just quietly better at this than the animal we've spent 50 years being afraid of.